Mark Builds Brands has been in the info space for over a year now, and he's been able to build a $635,000 per month sales funnel off the back of his YouTube and Instagram with only 47,000 followers. So in the next 20 minutes, I'll be breaking down the exact system he used to go from zero to multi-six-figure months in just 1 year, so you can copy it, implement it into your own coaching business, and of course, make way more money faster. So without any further ado, let's just get straight into it. We're going to go ahead and start off with breaking down his entire Instagram right here. We're going to go ahead and go into his YouTube, his X. We're going to then break down his entire landing page, his type form flow, and of course, his entire call booking flow in full detail. Let's get into it. Now, on Instagram, he's at around 72,000 followers. The Run More Ads guy at Run More Ads, showing you how to make more money with ecom and live a better life. Apply for Brand Builders Academy. And of course, he links his product, which is of course Brand Builders Academy right here. And as you can see at the end of this, he has a extender for the link. You'll see IG. This is just helping him track the link. And I'd recommend for literally anybody to do this. You can do this very easily. If you're using Go High Level or any other kind of software, you can just clone your funnel steps and just put a different funnel step on each and every single one of your specific social medias. And that's going to make tracking way, way easier. Now, in the story highlights, you'll see Dark Lord, YouTube, testimonials, Q&A, gym. YouTube is just all of his best videos. They're linked in this specific story highlight, so he can funnel people from Instagram into YouTube so that they could be nurtured further. I'll get into what nurturing means in a quick second if you don't know what that is. Testimonials is literally just doing testimonials, all that social proof. I would like for him to add a few more of these because up-to-date testimonials are the best. Q&A is just a little bit of humanization, a little bit of personalization. He answers questions live. This just makes it so that his audience feels like they know him better. This basically just results in them feeling like he's a better friend than he actually is, which if you have a good friend, you're more likely to give them money than some random dude on the internet. So that's the main reason that he's doing that as well. Now, the next story highlight is called Gym. This is a little bit more of his personal life that he's sharing on his story highlights. This is literally just pictures of him being in the gym because he is a big gym bro. He likes going to the gym and everything like that. And a lot of people in his audience know that. Then there's team, of course, his entire team, mindset as well. And then there's a few more story highlights, but these are the main ones that are on the main page. Now, for the actual content, he gets around, let's say 3 to 10,000 views every singular video. Sometimes he does go decently viral at 20, 30, 40,000 views. So he doesn't get like crazy views, but he's getting a pretty decent number of views. The most common type of content for him to make is these black bar videos where he's literally just in his room in a black background. Same setup as with his main YouTube videos, except he just does them for the reels, and he makes these reels specifically for Instagram. So these aren't clips from his longer form videos. They're literally just specific reels that he makes on Instagram. And an interesting thing that I've found out is that he actually does also repost basically his tweets onto Instagram as short form videos. And that's a great strategy for any of you guys who want to start on X, which is a great platform. I'll be breaking down X and how important it is in a quick second. But if you guys are interested in getting to both X and Instagram at the same time, this is a great way to make them work together. So you don't have to basically work on 2 goddamn platforms at the same time, which is just going to be a headache. And I get it. So you don't need to work on both platforms at the same time. Ideation is the hardest part of content creation. So just make it as easy as possible for yourself by implementing these systems. Next, he also makes these POV videos, I guess. Not POV. I mean, he makes talking head videos where he's literally just talking to the camera. He's either in his car, he's either walking, but he just talks about a certain topic. And these generally get quite a bit more views than the other ones, just because they're a little bit of a pattern interrupt. They're a new thing, and his audience is more interested in new stuff because humans are more interested in new stuff, just because that's how humans work. So basically, more people are likely to watch this because it's different. That's the main reason that these do so well, and that's why he always makes sure to do them, but he only does them in a small and slow cadence. So he does about 4 normal videos like this one, and then of course he goes into one of these talking head videos. Now, that was his whole Instagram strategy kind of in a nutshell. But where is he actually trying to funnel you from the Instagram? Well, there's 2 places you can go. There's either the X, which is going to be a bottom of funnel plus middle of funnel mixing pot. I'll get into that in a quick second. Or the YouTube. Now, the YouTube for Mark is like the big social platform where he is absolutely huge. He's about to hit 100,000 subscribers. Very close to he's on the brink of it, basically. Very basic bio, showing you how to make money with ecom and live a better life. E-commerce scalingsecrets.com application. That's just linking to his actual product. Within the bio, work with me one-on-one. And he's also linking to Instagram, because the reason you link to Instagram is because Instagram is the main conversion platform. So what that means is that people will go to your YouTube. The main goal of your YouTube is to take traffic from Instagram, move it over to the YouTube, where people will get nurtured by watching longer form videos, like way longer than any video that's going to be on Instagram. And then they'll come back to you, where you're going to convert them over here on Instagram. That's the main goal with these two platforms. And that's why these are the main, basically deadly duo of platforms. You need to have both of these if you actually want to have a successful coaching business. You can't really work with just one. So basically, I've been talking about nurturing quite a bit, and I'll get into the content right after I break down exactly what nurturing actually means. Now, nurturing basically just means having people see your face as much as physically possible. And the way you do that is by making them watch more videos with your face in it, right? So the way you can do that, and the way you can kind of quantify the amount of time they need to consume your content, is through something I like to call the 7-11-4 rule. So 7-11-4 rule, very basic stuff. It is going to be 7, 11, and 4. And this was basically a study done by Google, where they realized that a prospect needs to consume 7 hours of your content across 11 different touch points across 4 different locations to actually buy your product online. Now, the way that this would work for YouTube and content organic is 7 hours of content would literally just mean however many of your videos on average it will take for a prospect to consume 7 total hours of your face. And the same thing with reels. So how many reels would they have to watch to consume 7 hours of your actual content? Now, 11 different touch points means different videos that they need to watch to consume that 7 hours of content. So what that means is that if they watched 3 of your videos and they consumed 7 hours of your content, that is not going to be enough nurturing, because they're not going to be ready to buy because they did not consume enough touch points yet. Now, this is where the shorter form platforms really shine for nurturing, especially Instagram, because you can reach your audience constantly again and again and again with these short form videos, which will build up a ton of touch points extremely quickly. And touch points and also hours of content consumed is actually directly proportional. So what that means is that if you consume more touch points, the amount of hours of content your prospect needs to consume will go down. And vice versa is true as well. So if you consume more hours of content, then the number of touch points you need to consume will also go down. And so basically you need to kind of figure out which way you want to go about this. You can have shorter YouTube videos that are very value packed and you can make a lot of them, or you can have longer YouTube videos that are very value packed and you can make very few of them. But either way, you need very, very valuable and extremely authentic videos. That's what Mark is doing here. Extremely authentic videos. He basically has no editing. The only editing he has is just a few cuts in between. That's about it, right? And now, getting into the actual content, as I said before, most of these are about ecom. Obviously, he's an ecom guru, so that's why he's going to be breaking down ecom. And the way he kind of starts these videos is that he kind of repeats the title and then gets into social proof. After you realize, hey, this guy sounds like he's smart and I think I can trust him. After that, he's going to be like, all right, so, and he's just going to get straight into the video. Okay. And a lot of people try to long-wind their intros or long-wind their explanations, but the main goal of your intro is to get them to be excited for the value you give. And if you're giving away enough value, that should mean that your retention curve should be completely flat in the YouTube studio. What that basically means is that when somebody starts watching your video, they should only leave at the start, and most of the video, the whole curve should be flat. So they should keep watching the video at all times, right? If that makes any sense. So the main goal of your videos, or the main goal of your intros, is just to get people hooked and tell them that everything I'm about to tell you is worth watching. Then the rest of the video is just to give them enough value that they know it's worth watching, and you want to prove that it's worth watching. And that's what Mark does really, really well. And the main ideas that he goes for are a lot of stuff about ads and testing products, and a lot about quiz funnels, challenge funnels, video ads, blah, blah, blah. Then there's a lot of mindset stuff as well. So he kind of does the mindset guru kind of play as well, XP farming, 9 minutes and you'll never burn out again, how to literally force yourself to make money, and then of course just money making secrets, how to make your ads more profitable, all that jazz. And the thumbnails will be so simple that they will literally just be screenshots of a certain part of the video where he is looking at the camera. It'll usually be a dashboard screenshot, Other times in the mindset videos, it'll literally just be in the actual a screenshot from the actual funnel breakdown, or a screenshot not from the funnel breakdown, my bad, but a screenshot of the actual video and what he's explaining within it. Broke the third wall there. This is a funnel breakdown, not what he does. Anyways, in the videos, in each and every single one of these videos, the bio has these few links. So get hooked is his AI. Join my free email list to nurture his audience further. DM me on IG to convert them on Instagram. Apply for my mentorship, Brand Builders Academy. And this is, of course, just applying for his mentorship. Very basic stuff. And we'll get into the whole mentorship and everything like that in right now, like literally just in a quick second. But I'm going to break down his X now, because this is the other platform that he really likes using in kind of tandem with Instagram, which that just means he's using Instagram and X together to work together and make it easier for him. Now, if you guys aren't interested in X and you don't have an X funnel, you can go ahead and skip forward like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and you'll be able to go ahead and see how I break down his landing page. But for the X, for the people who want to know about the X, you're going to see that he's the run more ads guy, and he has a different kind of personal brand on the X, just because he changed his name on the X. I'm not completely sure why. I do believe he used to be the paid ads guy before as well, but he just changed his name to Mark Builds Brands instead. Not completely sure why. That's obviously not my specific expertise. Anyways, the pin tweet explains everything about why he believes what he believes, and why he actually started believing it. So basically, he explains why he likes running more ads. He then breaks down all the objections that people have to his mindset, and then of course he breaks down when he started believing it, and he breaks down which experience that he had that made him start believing it. Now, that right there is a whole story. And stories then make Mark way more relatable to you. So you're more likely to switch your beliefs to what Mark believes. Now that he's explained to you why he likes ads so much, you are way more receptive to his product, his value, and you've dropped your shoulders at this point. That is when he can shoot you in the dome and he can get you to buy his product, right? Now, for the actual tweets that he's doing, he does a lot of reposts off of health stuff, fitness stuff, blah, blah, blah. And again, this comes back to my point of him reposting his ex posts onto his Instagram. And this post right here, some people get rich because they want to buy cars, clothes, and status. That's all cool. I just wanted the expedited shipping option. Now, that is an entire reel right here. I do believe, yeah, this one right here. This is entirely that same exact tweet, except in a reel form. So what he does, he tests it on the X, or he tests it on the Instagram first, and then he just retweets or reposts something off of the X onto the Instagram, and vice versa. So he literally just has a never-ending cycle of content ideas at all times, basically. And so that's why it's so much more effective for him to do this, because now he doesn't have to come up with different content ideas for both. He can just basically have a summarized version of his reel and put it onto his X. Anyways, for the rest of them, it's just going to be like my most recent YouTube video was taken down after being up for 4 hours. The main goal on X is just to nurture people, get them to align with your main beliefs. So what he's trying to do here is he's trying to build up a little bit of hype for that specific YouTube video, and then he gives you the chance to check it out. And since you've DM'd him Magnus, you're more likely to actually watch the video. This is a little bit of a back end play by him. Other than that, he also gives away a ton of value on this Twitter. And then he shows off his personality by showing off like memes and reposting memes specifically off of other pages. Again, more things right here. I get a lot of cold DMs here on IG, so I wanted to make a thread of all the best ones I've ever got. They all suck, right? He's again showing off his personal brand. Again and again and again. You get the point, guys. He's basically trying to show off his personal brand. He's giving you lifestyle posts. He talks about his personal life, all that jazz, so you get to know him better. That's the main goal of your X. Don't try to overcomplicate it. You want to have a 25, 25, 25 split. So basically, you want to have about 25% reposts. You want to have 20, or I'd say around 50% of your content should be lifestyle or personal life stuff. 25% should be giving away value, just so the people stay in your X and they don't just, because nobody cares about you. They don't care about your personal life unless you give them value. So 50% personal life, 25% value, and then maybe 10 to 25% repost, depending on how much you want to, I guess, look like a lazy bum, basically. But anyways, other than that, that's his main X strategy. And for the actual landing page, we're going to get into this right now. Now, the landing page was actually quite a bit of a shocker for me because it looks like absolute garbage, in my own opinion, obviously. It doesn't look too bad. I've seen worse, but it's pretty bad in general. I would like for him to just change this up, make it look a bit cleaner, because right now it looks like a Chinese scam website. But other than that, the rest of the funnel is pretty good. So he's using Typeform already, great idea. But of course, he's also saying step 1 of 2. That's also a really good idea. The reason you want to say step 1 of 2 is just basically you're shrinking the time cost in the viewer's mind. You're being like, hey, this is not going to take as much time as you think, because there's only 2 steps. In fact, both steps are going to probably take you 10 minutes, but you don't need to do that. You just need to break every single thing that you get them to do in a funnel down to 2 or 3 steps max, and that will make your conversion rates increase by at least 0.1%. I'm gonna tell you that if they don't increase by 0.1%, DM me and sue me, I guess. I don't know. But I've tested it. It does actually have a pretty big effect. But anyways, once you go through the Typeform, the first 5 questions or the first 4 questions are literally just him asking for your name, last name, then your email, and then your phone, which is already a big mess up by him. The reason you don't want to ask for their phone number, email address, and everything for the first, like, I guess 1 or 2 or 3 questions is because basically the main goal on Typeform is to get them to finish the Typeform, right? The way you can do that is using the sunk cost fallacy. So I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of this before. And the sunk cost fallacy basically just means that somebody got in, they put in a lot of stuff, they put in a lot of effort, and now they want to keep on going even though they know it's bad for them, because they're like, oh, it'll finish really quickly, right? Because you've sunk already some cost into it, so you just basically keep sinking more. The main goal of the Typeform, or the main goal for you as a marketer, is to take advantage of that in the Typeform as well. Well, not the main goal, but one of the goals. One of the ways you can optimize your Typeform open rates and your finish rates or your fill rates on your Typeform is using the sunk cost fallacy. Now, how do you use this? Very basic stuff. You want to go ahead and make them answer about 3 questions of just normal qualification questions. This could be 2 to 3 depending on the length of your Typeform. Then you hit them with an email question, because now they've already sunk so much into it. Now you ask them for an email question. Email is a little bit of a lighter thing than a phone number, right? People will give away their email most of the time. They're less protective of their email versus their phone number. But now once you've gotten their email, you then ask 1, 2, 3 more questions, or 1 to 2 I'd recommend, just because you don't want to have too many questions. And of course, that's another issue with Marks. It has so many goddamn questions. But again, it's like 10 questions long. It's way too many questions. He should have shortened it a little bit. Of course, maybe he has a lot of unqualified leads. That's why he might be increasing the friction. That could be an argument on his side, but I'd recommend for all of you at home, just keep it to 6 or 7 max. But then you want to go ahead and ask for their email, ask them 1 or 2 more qualifying questions, and then you hit them with the big one, phone number. Then once you've secured the phone number, now if you don't need a phone number, to be frank, don't go for a phone number. It's just going to add more friction. Of course, if you need more friction, that's good. And the only time you'd need more friction, by the way, is when you are getting like really unqualified leads and like really crappy leads in your funnel. Then you want to add more friction, and this stuff is good friction. But most of you guys, you just don't have enough leads. That's why you need to have less friction. Okay. So at the end, you ask for the phone number, and then of course they submit, right? This will make it way more likely that they fill out the phone number and email forms than if you just like asked outright, because they haven't gone through the sunk cost fallacy in this case right here. So of course, anyways, moving to the actual questions. Do you currently own a business? All right. No. If you click yes, then it's going to take you to this question. If you click no, it'll just take you to a job question. It'll just skip that and it'll go for here, right? It'll just skip that question. That's one of the best reasons I like Typeform a ton. It has like logic as well you can implement. So really like Typeform for that specific reason as well. But anyways, if you have a business, it'll ask you how much revenue you generated. This is just so he knows that, hey, can I help you or not? Because I assume he does not want to help these starter beginner businesses. Not completely sure if 15 to 30,000 is good for him, but I don't believe he wants to help $0 to $15,000. Either that, or he wants to just be able to filter how many people are coming into his funnel, which either way, it's great. This question is definitely worth it, and you should be asking this. But after that, in terms of your work situation, how much do you take home after taxes every month? Now, if they answered the business situation, he should not ask for the work situation unless they're at 0 to 15,000. And I'm not sure why he asked this. He should definitely not be asking unless they're at 0 to 15,000, unless they entered that. And that's a great bit of logic for him, because that would reduce the number of questions. So anyways, I would recommend he skip this question if they're anywhere above $15,000 a month. Next, what's happening in your life right now that has you wanting to start your own e-com brand? And this, I'm assuming, is even more friction. And just so he knows a little bit more about you, he asks for a full description, as descriptive as possible. Ultimately, what are you looking to achieve? What's the goal? And again, he's asking for a description question. And if you guys do, and this is just for the few of you guys that actually have a lead quality problem. Most of you guys just have a lead flow problem. But for the people who have a lead quality problem, a good way you can add friction is literally just use Typeform and add description questions. So they have to actually use brain cells and think about what they're going to write. So the description questions will just make them think twice before actually submitting the form, and you'll only get the most qualified people. In any business, of course, time investment and money investment. And then here he's just kind of getting them to be like, hey, if you click submit, are you actually going to show up on the call? This is going to reduce no-show rates. I support it again. If you are getting bad show rates, then I'd say add this in. If you aren't, it's more friction, don't add it in. Anyways, once you fill out the whole type form, he's going to take you to this page. Again, the designing is not the best, but anyways, he's not really using Calendly. So he's using this off-brand. I'm not sure what brand this specific thing is, and I've seen a lot of people using this recently. Well, not a lot of people, but I've seen whatchamacallit? Ravi something. Ravi Abuvala, yeah. I just made a final breakdown on Ravi Abuvala. If you haven't watched that, you can check it on my channel. But he also used this exact same date and time picker. It's not bad. I mean, it works, but I'd say just use Calendly. Again, same thing I said for him, because if you use Calendly, you can integrate it as the last question within this type form. And if you can integrate it as the last question within the type form, it will increase your booking rates by like 20%. Your type form filled to booking rates will increase by 20%. Let me repeat that. Your type form to Calendly booking rates will increase by 20%. That's like a 20% increase to how much money you make at the end of the month. That's like 20 grand if you're making 100K a month right now. That's like two grand a month if you're making 10 grand right now. That's a lot off of just integrating Calendly into Typeform. So it's really worth it. If you guys aren't doing that, please start doing that. I did also really like this one thing that a lot of people don't implement, which is an exit pop. So I'm assuming this came from his ecom background, but he added an exit pop when you leave the page, which will, of course, just save like maybe 2-3% of people, which is again more money, like 2-3% more money. Why wouldn't you want that? Just by adding in a little bit of an exit pop, right? Very basic stuff. Really good funnel. I liked it a lot. I like breaking it down a ton, and of course sunk a lot of time into it. But it was a really flushed out funnel, and it makes sense how he's making $635,000 a month. But in general, there's a lot of stuff he could be improving, and again, there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people could be improving. And if you think that you have something like this within your funnel that you need to improve as well, link in the description. You can DM me on Instagram. Obviously, I'm not going to try to hard sell you or anything. You can just DM me on Instagram. We can see if you have an actual problem. If you do, I'll be able to help you, and we'll see if we can actually help you. If we can, we'll hop on a call, and either way, you're going to get a ton of value. Anyways, so no brainer for you. Click the link down below. DM me on Instagram. Other than that, if you don't want to watch, or sorry, if you don't want to do any of that and you just want to watch another one of my videos, go and check this one out right here, because YouTube thinks that you'll like it. Right there. And if you want to watch the whole funnel breakdowns playlist with upwards of $100,000 worth of sauce, it's down below me right here. And of course, if you want to leave a like and subscribe, which I would appreciate, subscribe in the corner down there. And of course, like is below the video. Hoping to see you in this next video. Goodbye.